Hi, and welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Pastor Paul Steele from Bethlehem Church in Austin, Minnesota. The Bottom Line is our weekly summary of the previous Sunday's sermon. Now, this past weekend, we had a guest preacher here, Pastor Larry Day from Mason City. What had happened is that we had our annual conference on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Free Methodist Church. And while we were there Friday night, my youngest daughter jumped from a swing and ended up breaking her arm. The break was serious enough that required surgery, and she was flighted to the Children's Hospital in Madison, Wisconsin, and required a couple nights stay in the hospital. So we were unable to get back in time for Sunday morning, and Pastor Larry was gracious enough to step in on short notice and come and give our message that day. And what he talked about finding hope in God's love. He used Psalm 42 verses 5 through 11 as his text, and here we see David being dejected and depressed, and yet he reminds himself of God's faithful love. And so when we find ourselves depressed, dejected, when things don't seem to be going our way, one of the most important things that we can do is to stop and to remind ourselves of God's blessings, how God has been merciful to us, how God has shown his love to us. We need to find our hope in God's faithful love. And so the big idea on Sunday was this: it is an important part for us to remind ourselves of God's love. It is important for us to remind ourselves of God's love. That God's love is constant, and it shows up in a variety of different ways. And so we look at our lives and we remember, even though this part of my life seems to be falling apart, God is still there. He's still blessing. He is still loving. And so our challenge this week is to count our blessings, to remember God's mercy. How has God shown his love to you this week, this month, this year? Hey, thanks for joining us. Even though you may not be able to attend here at Bethlehem in Austin, we're grateful that you're a part of our church family, even if it's on Facebook and YouTube. So remember, you can join us every Sunday morning at 10:30 on Facebook, on YouTube, or in person next to Ellis Middle School here in Austin, Minnesota. And the best way to support what we're doing here in Austin is go to our website, BethlehemChurchAustin.com, follow the Give tab and to give. That's going to help support our ministries and what we're doing here. And if you have a prayer that you'd like me to be praying about, drop me a message and I'll add you to my prayer list. And that's one of the great things that we can do for one another as Christians, is to pray for each other. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week, and God bless.